it was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary the mother of James, and the other women with them who told of this to the apostles. But these words seemed to them an idle tale, and they did not believe the women. But Peter got up and ran to the tomb. Stooping and looking in, he saw the linen cloths by themselves. Then he went home, amazed at what had happened. The good news of Jesus.
Thanks be to you, O Christ.
Be seated. We know how it ends. We all know. We know its inevitability, unavoidable, inescapable ending. We don't have to flip to the back of the book to see who done it. There's no mystery. In life, heroes come crashing back to earth, where we see their flaws, their foibles, and fallacies. Movements peter out or get co-opted. Kingdoms come and go. Everything is a flash in the pan, here today and gone tomorrow. It all ends. End of story. And if every story comes to a screeching, crashing ending, or even an incremental, fading, whimpering passing, this can be used to the advantage of the powers that be. They know that if you silence enough, if you distract enough, if you bury the truth, the details, and the right people, if we are buried in distraction and death, well,